All right, so I am all done with Sylvie. I'm actually gonna go outside and take some pictures with my husband. I am really excited. I really like the way that it looks, and I think I'm just gonna like fiddle with the wig a little bit more and maybe cut it just a little bit shorter. Other than that, I am super happy with how this came out. Hey, Brian.
What? Oh, hi.
Do you want to take some pictures?
Hell yeah.
Hi, so it is 1:51 on Saturday, and it's currently storming really bad, and Aries is terrified, so I figured I would come and sit on the floor and just answer a question that I actually got from 3 of you guys. They were all kind of variations on why I like Sylvie, why I'm cosplaying Sylvie. I will make sure to put all the questions on the screen, so thank you guys for these questions. What do I like about Sylvie, Aries? Oh. Now, to properly explain to you why I like Sylvie, I have to also explain an original character that I created. So back in college, I started to play World of Warcraft with my then boyfriend, now husband, who he was the person who actually introduced me into World of Warcraft, and that's a whole other story in itself. And I created a character called Malenti. Now, at the time, Malenti didn't have a backstory, but as time went on and I started to get more into, oh, it's okay. But as time went on and okay, bye. So fast forward a couple years to 2015, 2016, and my husband and I and some friends went to our very first PAX East. And for those of you that don't know, PAX East is a convention in Boston, Massachusetts. But after that convention, I was really into playing some more video games, and I had never known that Fallout 3 was like a post-apocalyptic type of game, and I love apocalypse stuff, and that also kind of ties into Sylvie. And so I decided to give it a try. I played it on PlayStation 3, and oh my god, I fell in love with it. And I played Fallout 3, I played Mass Effect 2. Every time I had to create a character in these creators, I always was kind of referring back to Malenti in Warcraft, and it just kind of stuck. It just became that singular character that I had in every single game. And so what I started to do as I played more and more video games and I had more and more iterations of Malenti, I kind of created this half-assed lore where she is essentially a dragonkin slash human species. She also went to the College of Timekeeping that was also taught by dragons, and the reason that I connected this all back to dragons was because in World of Warcraft there's like the timekeeping dragons. She wasn't necessarily bad at it, she just didn't really apply herself and didn't care, and she was always kind of like screwing around more so than she was actually trying to learn how to use the time magic. So the dragons kicked her out of the college, and by kicking her out of the college, she no longer could live in the dragon plane of existence or something like that, and so she has to hop between planes of existence because she doesn't have a home. Anyways, that's all to say, that's kind of what Sylvie is. Whenever we're first introduced to her in Loki, she has been on the run from the TVA, and you know, no one really understands her story or understands why she's running. I love how messy Sylvie is. She's allowed to have faults. She's allowed to be angry. She's allowed to just be upset at what the Time Variance Authority has taken away from her, because the TVA has essentially taken away her entire life. She has had to live on the run. She has had to live in literal apocalypses her entire life just to, you know, see another day and to hopefully fulfill her destiny of, you know, destroying the person who stole her life from her. And that's all that she has driving her. But like, whenever she finally fulfills what she thinks will give her satisfaction in her life of killing the person who has stolen literally her life from her, you can see the regret in her eyes after she does it, because she's like, holy crap, this thing that I've been fighting for my entire life did not fulfill me. That's kind of the long story of why I like Sylvie. She reminds me of an original character I have, and I also just really appreciated that they let her be angry. They let her be a very messy character. Everyone hates her because she opened up the multiverse, and why would she do such a thing? It's like the whole argument again of Star-Lord doing what he did, and people saying that they can't believe that these people did it have never been in a situation like that. Like, you're never gonna be in a situation as Sylvie was. For us to even think that we would know what we would do in that moment. I mean, come on. Characters are allowed to be messy. Characters need to do things to further the plot, and they also need to do things so that they have, you know, like a personality. So yeah, that's why I really like Sylvie. I could talk for hours on why I like Sylvie, but I think I'll keep it a little bit short because I'm not entirely sure how long this is. My dog seems to not, you know, be scared anymore, so this was a success.
What up, Peloton? My name is Jess King. Welcome to this 20-minute EDM ride.
So it is a little bit later on Saturday, and I wanted to come on here and basically talk you guys through what my dragoncon lineup is going to be, because I realized whenever I post this vlog, it's going to be Thursday of dragoncon, so it's going to be a week from today, or no, a little bit less than a week from today. So right now, as of Saturday, my lineup for dragoncon is going to be Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be wearing Sylvie all day. Saturday, I'll be wearing Sasha from Attack on Titan, and then Sunday, I will be wearing Melina from Black Widow. Now, Monday is kind of up in the air. I may wear Sylvie again. I may just wear normal clothes. I have no idea how the weekend of dragoncon is going to go. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I posted something on Instagram, I'll put it on the screen right here, and I didn't realize whenever I was writing it that it would resonate with so many of you. I got a lot of direct messages. I even had a couple people ask if they could screenshot it and then share it on their stories as well. All boiled down to was that I kind of felt a little bit guilty about putting out to the world that this was all that I was bringing to the convention. Again, I'm bringing Sylvie, Sasha, and Melina, and those are all considered small costumes. Now, I really hate categorizing small and large costume as a whole anyway, but I just want to put it out there that you don't have to wear a large costume or a big build in order to have fun at conventions. This kind of all came about because, as you saw in earlier vlogs, I was considering bringing Commander Shepard. I was actually kind of wanting to bring Commander Shepard, and it would have been cool. Like, I know that there's a couple of voice actors that are going to the convention, and maybe running into them would be cool, but aside from that, there wasn't really a reason other than I felt like I needed to bring a large costume. Don't get me wrong, I love that costume. It was one of those costumes that I really wanted to make, and I'm so glad that I made it. However, the fact that I was only bringing it for the fact that it was a large costume made me kind of take pause with it. Be completely transparent with you guys, whenever that costume didn't fit into my luggage, I almost breathed a sigh of relief, because wearing that costume is incredibly hard. Whenever you're wearing armor, you're not, you know, walking around like a normal person would, because you're kind of constricted in places that you're not normally constricted in. And it just kind of occurred to me that I don't see a lot of people talking about the actual physical act of wearing costumes and how draining it can be. I've been seeing some TikToks that have finally made it onto Instagram Reels, because, you know, we're like 2 weeks late to that. And it's a lot of people that got into cosplay during quarantine. And again, this is absolutely no shade. I'm not talking down to anybody who got into cosplay during quarantine and on TikTok and things like that. As conventions are starting to open back up, a lot of these people who started cosplay during quarantine are going to these conventions, and they're not having as much fun as they did, you know, in their climate controlled house, talking to a camera and just doing whatever they want and editing everything to look completely perfect. And I just want to say, conventions are not perfect by any means, especially conventions nowadays. I'm incredibly grateful that I'm able to go and that we have, you know, the means to make this somewhat safe for us all to attend. That's a whole other thing. Like, conventions were not like this a year and a half ago, as a lot of things weren't. At the end of the day, conventions are really what you make of it. And a big reason why I love conventions and why I, even as an introvert, kind of realized what I was missing from this hobby, I just miss the people. I miss interacting with people, and there's no better feeling than you completely screaming and yelling at someone in their direct messages for an entire month and a half because you're both making the same costume. I'm talking about you, Lolly, and this guy. You just can't wait to meet that person because you both love this character, you both love this costume so much, and there's just no better feeling than being able to connect with someone like that and then meet them in real life. And this kind of goes back to whenever I first made Jin. and I consider making Jin the kind of catalyst for what got me so down this rabbit hole of cosplay, because I had cosplayed a couple other things before. I had cosplayed from Overwatch and, you know, Fallout, but I hadn't really found the cosplay community until I started to cosplay Jin. And then I started to make legitimate, actual friends who you know, God, some of those people I saw at the Black Widow premiere, and it's just crazy because it's like we've known each other through this hobby of dressing up as the same character and connecting with the same character, and here we are, you know, at a completely different character's movie premiere and just having the absolute time of our lives. Most of my favorite memories that I've had, I have been in what is considered a small cosplay. Now, let me get back to the whole small versus large cosplay. First off, please don't think that you need to attend a convention with a large build or it doesn't matter. I know that whenever we kind of look back on conventions and we see all of the cosplay music videos and all of the pictures that are taken, most of the time you're only going to see like large armored builds. And why is that? Obviously, it's kind of crazy to see something larger than life being portrayed right in front of you. However, don't let that discourage you into just, you know, bringing costumes that you're comfortable in, or bringing costumes that you know you love that character of. Above all else, don't equate the number of times you're asked for a photo or you're told your costume looks great with how much fun you have at a convention. Because if you start to approach it that way, you're not gonna have a great time. And I know that because I have been there. I have 100% attended conventions and thought in the back of my mind, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of pictures for this costume. And then you come out of it and like no one recognized you. You're called like different characters' names. And I think everyone goes through that type of a phase when it comes to cosplay. You think we're going to get all of the pictures and all of the cosplay music video shots. And like for whatever reason, whatever we were expecting just does not live up to our expectations. And I have come to find and come to realize that the main reason I really enjoy cosplaying is, one, I love making things. And I think there's just something really special about being able to make something with your hands and being able to share it with the world and even kind of share it with other people who want to make the same thing that I do. And two, I love sharing. I love just, you know, teaching you guys what I do, even though it may not be the cleanest, it may not be the best way to do it. I'm just showing you how I do it, and you can take my information and, you know, kind of make it into something of your own. And three, the biggest reason, and it took me so long to realize, again, because I think it's just my introverted nature, I really enjoyed the people and I really just enjoy the community that we have. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bad apples in this community, but that doesn't take away from like the good people that are here and just want to have fun at conventions. Don't think that you need to have a huge costume in order to be considered a cosplayer. If you're portraying a character, even if it's closet cosplay, even if it's a casual cosplay, I mean, I have a casual Sylvie that I'm more excited to wear than the actual costume itself, you're still cosplaying. Again, I know so many people say like, it's cosplay, it's costume play, but that is what cosplay is. We're wearing costumes and we're playing, we're having fun. If there's one thing that I can say on my channel, it's just, I don't want people to think that they need to have a certain level of a costume in order to attend a convention. Heck, if your costume is half finished and you still want to wear it, wear the dang costume. You have to be prepared to probably answer some questions about it. But the thing is again, if you're having fun, if you feel awesome because you're wearing half of that costume, then go for it. And like, I haven't even gotten into the whole idea of armor versus sewing, you know, being looked upon. Like, someone could make an incredibly crazy sewn garment and people just like kind of just don't even care about it. Heck, I am not good at sewing. I had a heck of a time putting the collar in my Sylvie shirt. And you know what? The people that make these crazy sewn costumes, they deserve all of the pictures and all of the accolades as well. And I don't like how people see sewing as somehow lesser than foam work, because in my opinion, sewing is even harder because you got to do everything backwards and all this stuff, and you can't just like sand a little bit of something off if you mess it up. Like, it's stupid. Like, why does it matter how large a costume is? That doesn't equate having a better time. I actually think for my mental and like physical well-being at this convention, because it's a 5-day convention, it's overwhelming. It's going to be hot as balls down there. I'm almost certain of it. I'm going to have a better time by wearing these costumes that are just kind of essentially clothing. Like, I'm doing this for myself first. I know a lot of people, again, go hard, and more power to them, but I just know for my first convention back, even though it is DragonCon and a lot of people go hard at DragonCon, for myself and my well-being, I will just feel a lot better by bringing these 3 costumes and not stressing out too much about it and just enjoying my time and being in the moment with my friends. I also think it will allow me to be able to better film for you guys because I do want to do a lot of that. I want to bring you guys along. I want to show you what a convention looks like during these times. I want to document it honestly for myself because I want to be able to look back on this. So there's a lot of reasons why I am going with the lineup I'm going with, but again, at the end of the day, I don't need a reason to wear the costumes I'm bringing. I really do cosplay for myself first. Cosplay is a pretty dang selfish hobby if you ask me. We're basically making costumes of our favorite properties and then kind of putting them on the internet for other people to see, and some of us tend to want to be recognized by the IP creators a lot more than others, and that's a whole other thing. But at the end of the day, I really am cosplaying these characters because I want to first. And again, there's nothing wrong with cosplaying and admitting that it's a selfish hobby. A lot of us do a lot of things that are kind of selfish and they kind of better us as people, you know? I love cosplay for what it has done for me for my anxiety and for just being more sociable than I normally am. I mean, it's allowed me to create this YouTube channel and to share what I know with you guys. That's kind of one of the ways that I get over the whole selfish aspect of it. I feel like if I can just impart what I know about cosplay and how I make things, then I'm doing a little bit of good for the world. Please don't stress about what type of a costume you're bringing to a convention. Are you going to have fun in that costume? Then that's honestly all that matters. And again, as I said earlier, if you are watching this whenever it is first published, so from like September 2nd to September 6th, I will be at DragonCon and I'll probably be wearing Sylvie right at this moment whenever this video goes live. So if you want to see like what I'm up to, I will be posting some stuff over on Instagram, over at VaultFox, and I would love to chat with you. My direct messages are always open over there. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next vlog. Bye!